Hello and welcome to ThePrint. I'm Snehesh Alex Philip. So, where does India's submarine program really stand? And how many submarines do India operate? And what would it operate in the next one decade? Now, before I begin, I would want to make an appeal to you. As you're aware, the election season has started, and at ThePrint, we believe in getting you news from the ground itself, right from the COVID days to various other developments, natural calamities, infrastructure growth stories that we've covered. It has all been done from the ground. And hence, for elections too, we would hit the streets, the nooks and corners of the country to get you stories that really matter. But all of this comes at a cost. And hence, do subscribe to ThePrint and be part of the Print's growing family. The instructions are there on the screen. Do follow it, and as I said, become part of the Print's growing family. Now, coming back to submarines. Now, remember that marking a significant milestone for the Navy in 3 decades, India had last month deployed 11 conventional submarines for operations. This deployment starkly contrasts the submarine history of the last 2 decades, which has seen the arm hit by dwindling strength, accidents, and write-offs. The last time the Indian submarine arm was at its highest strength was in the early 90s, when the Navy had 8 kilo class submarines, 4 HDWs and 4 Foxtrot of Russian origin. Currently, India operates 16 conventional, that is the diesel electric submarines, including 5 Scorpion class, that is a French, 4 HDWs, that is a German, and 7 kilo class, that is a Russian. An additional Scorpion class is still to be commissioned and is currently undergoing sea trials. While India will eventually operate 17 conventional submarines next year, it should be pointed out that this would only be on paper. Now, you will ask why. Remember that what is important is operational availability. The Scorpion submarines are brand new, hence their availability ratio is much higher. Next comes the German HTWs, which continue to be the most reliable and high on performance. These submarines will last us another 10 to 15 years. While India had 10 kilo class submarines initially, it is now left with only 7. The kilos are very good, but the availability ratio is down. They have undergone upgrades but will not be able to last as long as the HTWs. This is because most of them were commissioned in the 1980s and one of them has already been decommissioned. The second one was refitted and given to Myanmar. A third was actually new, but we lost it in 2013 in an accident. And hence, an Indian Navy team is currently in Germany to conduct field inspection of the air-independent propulsion system being offered by the country for India's next big submarine program, the Project 75 India or P75I. The team reached Germany last week and was in the process of evaluating the AIP system that will allow a vessel to stay underwater for a longer duration. They will look into the efficiency claims of the German submarine maker, that is the TKMS, which is the front runner to back the mega contract. Once this trip is completed, the team would also travel to Spain to check on the AIP system of Spanish submarine manufacturer Navantia, the other foreign contender for the Navy deal. The Navy has insisted on a proven AIP system for the next generation of submarines that is to be built under the P75 India, a plan formulated 24 years ago in 2000. While the French have already built 6 Scorpion class submarines for India, they don't have a proven AIP system. As per the plan, the Scorpion submarine will be equipped with the indigenous AIP system being developed by the Defense Research and Development Organization. Even this indigenous development is behind schedule. The last 2 of the Scorpion class submarines were to be fitted with the indigenous AIP technology at the building stage itself, but the delay meant the plan had to be tweaked to ensure AIP fitment during the refit stage. However, This is also not sure because the first of the Scorpion class submarine, that is the INS Calvary, which was commissioned in 2017, is scheduled to come in for refit in the middle of the year, and the system is still not ready. A proven AIP is very important for the Navy because the force cannot afford to have the entire program delayed further, whether this is because of slow development of indigenous systems or by a foreign company claiming that they have developed it but not yet proven it. The Indian submarine program cannot be a test bed for anyone. Because the P-75 program has been delayed, the Navy has gone in for a stopgap arrangement, but deciding to go in for 3 additional Scorpion submarines that were being pushed by the French. However, the formal cost negotiation process is yet to start, even though the program was cleared last year. Both the German and the Spanish governments are pushing for a government-to-government deal for the P-75 India program, just like Prime Minister Narendra Modi had did in 2016 for the 36 Rafale fighters. TKMS has tied up with India's state-run Mazagon Dock Shipbuilders Limited, that is the MDL, for the project, while Navantia has tied up with private company L&T. The project is being pursued under a strategic partnership to be built in India through a collaboration between a foreign original equipment manufacturer, that is the OEM, and an Indian entity. It remained in limbo over the past few years because of multiple foreign companies had chosen to stay away, including the Germans themselves. The OEMs originally in contention besides TKMS and Navantia were Russia's Rosenborn Rubin Design Bureau, France's Naval Group, South Korea's Daewoo Shipbuilding and Marine Engineering, and Swedish firm Saab. Now, Saab was the first to exit from the race in 2019, even before a formal tender was issued, citing, and I quote, unbalance in strategic partnership. The Russians also expressed their inability to be part of the project, saying they're willing to go in for a government-to-government deal for the joint design and manufacturing of the submarines. The Russians are believed to have also offered 6 new improved Kilo-class submarines to India, deliveries of which it said would be fast-tracked, but the Navy was not so keen. France expressed its inability to participate in the project because they did not have a proven AIP. However, Germany had initially been reluctant as the felt strategic partnership was skewed in favor of the Indian entity, which would have majority share in the joint venture. On the other hand, the OEM was to be responsible for delivery and even shortfalls. Germany relented only after several meetings with the Indian Navy. Such was the poor response to the first tender, that is a request for proposal issued in 2021, that the Navy had to twice extend the deadline. Now, while the P-75I is still in works, there is another project that the Navy is working on, and it is called Project 76. Now, what is Project 76? While India has managed to design and build its own nuclear submarine with the help from the Russians, the country has never designed or manufactured a conventional submarine. The Naval Design Bureau of the Indian Navy is working on a conventional diesel-electric submarine with AIP technology that will be the future of India's submarine plans. It will be an in-house project, and the Navy is already focusing on systems and technology the submarine will have and designing the vessel around that. Remember, usually what happens is that a hull is designed and then the systems are brought in. But here, the Navy is deciding on what it really wants in terms of capabilities, in terms of systems, and then designing the submarine around it. For The Print, this is Snehesh Alex Philip. Do subscribe to The Print's YouTube channel for more such videos.